How's it going? It's the 4th of July. No, it's not. Um, April, and I think it's a Monday. It's like 6 in the afternoon. Something like this. I didn't do my video last night, I don't think. Yesterday. I was working until like the morning. It's about 6. The sun was coming up. It was light, but it wasn't like daytime. So it was like 6. And then that's when I found out I lost a bunch of stuff. And before I could like investigate and stuff, I like passed out. I basically just passed out. So, and I also found out that all sorts of stuff. Yeah, I was also getting lost, but I managed to back it up. But then I didn't find the other thing. Right now I'm backing stuff up. So yeah, last night I was working on creeks of. I'm like still super frustrated. It's backing up right now. Still almost done. Creeks and creek areas of Boulder, and I'm like so upset it's hard for me to talk. And and then at some point, I can't remember how it happened, but I just couldn't put it off any longer. I just wanted to check links on my Google Earth, right? On my education page on the Google Earth. Now, I remember the last time I fixed the links. It was not that long ago. It was like a month ago or something. Where I went in there and I put in the flags in front of all the countries for my free audio history books section on my education page, and then I put in all these other icons because I was downloading all these icons from Envato because I remembered, I had Envato and I was going to check out the icons, and yeah, I put all these cool icons in there, and so then I like reorganized it some, and of course then that's when I went and made sure all the links, checked all the links, made sure all the links were good and everything, because that's what I do every time. Like that's what I do. I make sure all the links are working. If I know that they're not working, then I immediately try to fix them. Lo and behold, like like half of the links to my Google Earth files were empty. It was just blank. Like I never even built them. It's not even that the links were bad or broken. Like they were blank. And I was like, okay. So then that's when I just started like kind of reorganizing and renaming the files and everything, making them simpler naming, and that's when I realized that I had lost some things that I'd spent a lot of time on. But before that, I realized I go in there and I find out because I open it up to check. I'm always checking and making sure that it's the proper version. But I go into my Atlantis file and I open it. And it doesn't have any of the perches, any of the tours. And I remember I was in Atlantis just like a month ago, like right before I started working on this Creeks and Lakes of Boulder County. And I was adding and organizing it, organizing XC and Atlantis, all these different things. It was right before I started doing Mountaintopia. And so I was like, where are all the tours? Because I remember I organized them all. And I also named and numbered the buildings in the center and island, and there's nothing. It was like old ass version. Like, where the hell did this come from? Like, and whenever I I update a version, I save over the old version, meaning that old version is gone forever. Like I don't have like folders, folders, this date, this date, this date. Actually, I guess my cloud is doing that now. That was a new development too. I'll talk about that. So I'm like, okay. So magically, and Google Earth likes to do this. Like when you open up Google Earth, all of a sudden, here's your, it likes to present you with an old version of the folder you were working on from like a long ass time ago. Sometimes like a long, long time ago. Like a month ago or 2 months ago. Like way long, like you haven't seen this in forever. You've saved it like 100 times since this to this version. And it just likes to replace it. Like, because it likes to put your stuff on the cloud. That's where your folders are on an Apple. So like when it uploads to the cloud, before it updates to the cloud, it likes to find an old version and grab that one and replace it. It's like regular. It happens all the time. And so that's how I've lost a bunch of stuff. And so I'm like, okay, so I go into my both of my external hard drives to see what version they have, and they have the old version too. So I'm like, wow. So that got replaced. Somehow it got replaced with the old version of Atlantis before I managed to back it up on my EasyShare hard drive. But I backed it up on my EasyShare hard drive like a long time ago. I don't even remember the last time I backed it up on my EasyShare hard drive. But lo and behold, and so because of the EasyShare hard drive has the old version, of course, this new 10 terabyte hard drive I have has the new version too. So I'm like, all right, well, let's see what my website has. So I downloaded the Atlantis file from my website. Luckily, the link worked. Luckily, it downloaded, and luckily, it was the new version. So I replaced this old version from way long time ago in my Atlantis folder with the actual Atlantis file, which was on my website. If I had have uploaded that without knowing, it would have been lost. Unless it was backed up on another place, but it wasn't. I know that I didn't back it up on any other place, on any other hard drive, which I'm doing now. That's why. Yeah, it just got done. I'm going to back it up on all of my cards, all of my extra hard drives now, everything that I have, and make sure that it's the new version. Because that would have sucked. That would have been like a long time. It was like a week or I don't know, long ass time, days that I was working on that. And then I notice on Google Earth, how did I notice this? There was a file that was open on my Google Earth just because it had been open. It like opened itself. It was of the lakes. It was the lakes of Boulder County that was up there, and on my Google Earth program, and it said Lakes of Boulder Country, and I was like, huh? And that's what my website was linked to, Lakes of Boulder Country. And then I looked at my current file of it, and it says Lakes of Boulder County, and I was like, oh yeah, I remember fixing that a long time ago. So somehow Google Earth brought up Lakes of Boulder Country from like long time ago. Long time ago. Opened it up on my Google Earth. Now, if I'd have looked at that and been like, oh, look, bad spelling, save, fix spelling, save, it would have saved this old version. Who knows what I would have deleted over. But I noticed it, so I deleted it. And I'm like, where the fuck did that come from? So, anyway, so then I'm in there and I look at, and I'm like, where the hell are my nuclear bombs of Atlantis? Or I see nuclear bombs and I open it up because I never got around to backing it up, putting it on my website for download. And lo and behold, the most time-consuming part of it, the nuclear bomb at Atlantis, is not on the file. Only I had been rebuilding exact location of the ships and the exact size of the plume and everything of the nuclear bomb tests of the atolls, Bikini, and I rebuilt that, and that was there, but not the whole thing that I built. It was like halfway built, not as developed as I thought, and the nuclear bomb of Atlantis wasn't there. I rebuilt the nuclear bombs of Atlantis, both Hiroshima and Nagasaki, as well as all of the oh my God, now I'm remembering. All of the nuclear bombs. The biggest one ever made, the one that the Russians did, I can't remember the name of it, and then all of them, all the ones in between. Like I rebuilt the Fireball, exactly how it looks, perfectly round. I rebuilt the smoke plume. I rebuilt the different stages of it. I built a perimeter around, like 3 different perimeters: complete destruction, half destruction, immediate death, on fire. I built all of it. I spent like a week on it. Only problem is I never made a web page on it on my website and then uploaded it to my website. So all that was missing. It was just the super basic. And I was like, well, is it on my Atlantis file? No, not on my Atlantis file. Gone, not. Because I would have taken it off Atlantis and put it on its own nuclear bomb file. But what happened was the nuclear bomb file on my computer, not even on the Google Earth, but on the computer, had somehow replaced itself with an old version. And so all of those fireballs that I made, and see, if I had have made those web pages up on my website, I could have like reconstructed the whole file just from the individual files that you can all link to individually on my website. So that's the advantage. It's security for me. It's not even for the world. Like, look what I have. It's security for me. Like, when I lose these things on all of my externals on my website, it all just gets replaced magically with the old version. At least I can get the new version off my website, because it can't replace itself on my new website because that's connected to a different system. So I went to my mom's house today to watch the new season of Outlander. She invited me over for that, and I had like some potato soup. And I asked her for these memory cards I gave her like a year ago or whatever, or maybe less. Gave her 2 memory cards, and she said she put one of them in with her jewelry and another one somewhere else. And she only recalled me giving her 1 memory card, and then she couldn't find the other memory card. And then got frustrated with me after she was looking for like half hour. So she told me to go home and maybe she'll find it tomorrow. Maybe she won't. Probably won't. She'll probably find it in like 5 years after looking all over. I gave her a coin, a Roman coin that I have, and she hid it. And she told me where she hid it. And she was like, "Yeah, perfect spot." And then she couldn't find it, and it took her a year to find it. And then she finally stumbled across it. So she can't find it now. I told her, she said she put it in with her jewelry, but she's like, doesn't recall. And even the second one and the first one, she can't find it and looked in there. So, but I haven't looked. And then I looked at another memory stick that I have. I mean, a memory card that I have. And the memory card had 8 gigabytes. And it was the first memory card that I picked out of my little bowl of memory cards and sticks that I have all on my website backed up onto. And this memory card was completely empty. There was nothing on it. It was empty. So that's what I was just backing up right now. So I'm just dragging all on my website back onto the memory card. Somehow it got deleted, or maybe I never put it on there in the first place. But I remember like a year ago, I spent like 4 complete full days, just sitting around backing stuff up, everything up on all of my memory cards and all of my external hard drives and both of my computers. And that's when I made those 2 memory cards and gave them to my mom. They're these 2 big memory cards. It was these 2, I spent a lot of money on them, 256 gigabyte memory cards. Oh, maybe I asked for one back because it worked. Oh, that's what happened. I asked for one back because it ended up working. Oh, shit. Okay, she can't find it. It's not her fault. Because I thought I had to give them to her because they weren't working on my new HyperDeck, but then it turned out they were working because I forgot to format them right. Anyway, but I think I gave her another one. I let her keep one. But anyway, oh yeah, no, I did. I let her keep both of them because I bought 2 more, and then I realized they were working, but then I kept the one, I think. But anyway, that was empty. So now I'm backing that up all the way, and then I did fill it up all the way. And now I'm backing up another memory stick. Now that new memory stick I have, the EasyShare, that's the one I'm backing up now, did not have the version of, and I backed that up a long time ago. It did not have the new version of the lost atomic bombs. So that's freaky. So, because that means probably the other ones won't, because I did them all at the same time. I looked on my server, Glowhost, and there was no trace anywhere up there of any of those nuclear bombs, just the nuclear bombs. So it was probably all in that one file. They weren't broken up into little files like this is Hiroshima, this is Nagasaki, this is this. I had them all in nuclear bombs. And then that nuclear bombs got replaced because I must have done a mass upload after it got replaced from the cloud or something. And then it replaced it, so now it's gone. So I should have uploaded them, Whenever I build something, see, when my philosophy used to be when I build stuff, I'm like, okay, cool, just back it up on a bunch of places and then you're good. But then when I go to retrieve it, like it disappears. Then when I go to retrieve it off all the places I backed it up, somehow it was lost before I backed it up. Because all the places I backed it up is the same situation as the one that just got lost. So the whole philosophy of like, build as much as you want now and then back it up all over the place doesn't work because you lose it anyway. So the only way to back it up in a way that works is as soon as you build it, you have to make the web page, you have to link it on all the different, broken up on all its different folders, connected to all the different, links on the web page, so that when you lose it on your computer, and then you lose the mother load on your computer and on the server and everywhere, you can at least download the little bits and pieces off your website. That was like a lot of time. I haven't gotten into looking at all the other cards and then my other computer. And I think the other maybe hard drive connected to my other computer. So I haven't looked everywhere. So I'm going to cross my fingers and hope that it's there. Also, another thing that's missing is I built, when I was working on the Exceed 4000 building, I built more than 500 people. It's a bike race up Sunshine Canyon here, which is kind of like a duplicate of Alpe d'Huez. It's the same height, same steepness, same time to go up for the riders and everything, so you can interchange it. And so I made a mix of all of them, Alpe d'Huez mixed with the Sunshine here, and all of them together, all the fastest people up Alpe d'Huez and the Tour de France. And then I put them up, going up the Exceed 4000 building up to the platform, which is the same height. It was magically the same height too. So I was like, oh, this is cool. So I built it. It's been like a few days. And then one day I was looking and I saw one file, one little polygon file of some random person, some random name of like a local racer with their time and all their information. And the person, I'm like, what's this? And it was from when I built that, and that was all that remained of it. It was just gone, except for that one person. And I was like, okay, so I looked all over. I looked on Exceed 4000 file, I looked on Atlantis file, I looked on the cyclists on Atlantis. I looked on the cyclists on my main motherload of cyclists, of bikers and everything, and it was nowhere. It was just gone, like it never existed. I looked on the server, and so I haven't looked all over on all of my externals, I think. So that's another thing that I missed. So that was like a week's worth of work lost just like that, because I didn't upload it, back it up onto my actual website and all the different bits and pieces and folders and files. So that's what I'm going to try to do now. Now I'm backing it. I'll back up on all these on this empty card I have, and I'm fixing all the links on the empty links that are on my actual website. They're all the links were empty, and so I renamed them and then I re-uploaded them all last night. And so now I'm going to check the links and make sure all the links work on my website on the Google Earth stuff. And I'm going to, at the same time, back up everything, like make sure everything's topped off, modern version of everything backed up on all of my external cards and sticks and hard drives on computers, and then see if I can find the bike racers going up the Exceed 4000 and also all of the atomic bombs that I built on top of Atlantis all over the place. So I had to abandon my Creeks of Boulder County project before I was done, because I realized that it's like a 2 steps forward, 1 step back situation. I've actually lost a bunch of stuff because I didn't even build the link to it. And all the back places I have it backed up are either empty, missing, or have the same version same old ass version replaced on them already. So it's like, make, you know, like when you have the volume of stuff that I'm dealing with, there enters a whole new realm of skill that you have to become proficient at, and that's making sure that you keep it. Because all sorts of other stuff that you don't expect start happening. Stuff starts going blank, like links go blank, hard drives go, or cards go blank. You know, hard drives die. I've had two hard drives die. You know, computer hard drives die, and then all of your places you have stuff backed up on magically get replaced somehow, even though they're not connected with the old version. Just like what you're looking for has the old version, and you can't even find the old version that you used to do it because you had backed it up, not realizing that the problem happened before you even backed it up on all these places. So it's like all these curveballs. So if you want to be safe, or at least, you know, with the volume of stuff that I have to always have as many different cards, sticks, hard drives, and locations. I think I'm going to pay money to get Carbonite again. I'm going to do that right now. I did want to spend the money, but that's fucking ridiculous. I'm going to go spend the money for Carbonite, so I'll have a Carbonite up there activated, so I can do some kind of time thing on Carbonite. But the problem is, if I'm looking for something that was gone before I even backed stuff up on the cards that I did like last year, I would have to look back on from like 2-3 years ago, you know, 4 or 5 years ago. Who knows? Like pinpoint exactly when I had it, because I don't know when this stuff disappeared. So, yeah, and I've talked about how I've had this stuff has been missing, completely missing, empty folders, and I've had to replace it from my external hard drives and stuff. Because like when it backs up on the cloud, it like sucks it. It doesn't just back up on the cloud. It like evaporates onto the cloud, off of your computer, and then disappears on the cloud. So, so yeah, that's a whole nother skill. So I'm gonna just, and time consuming. So I'm gonna spend like the next probably all day today and tomorrow, at least, just making sure that everything's topped off, and then looking for stuff before, probably not get going on the creek again, but get going on just making sure that everything's backed up on my website with all the little folders backed up. So anyways, that's all. Enough talking. Talk to you tomorrow.